How you guys doing? Talking about Champions Guide, talk, tips and tricks, you name it. It's all in this kind of video because you guys have been waiting for it, and I want to say thank you for your patience. Just as a big reminder, Tournament of Champions is a seasonal event, meaning if you're in Home Kingdom, guys, at the moment, as the time of this recording, since obviously Call of Dragons hasn't added it into the Home Kingdoms, you know, you're going to have to wait, right? So wait until you're in the season against all the other servers, then you get access to the Tournament of Champions. What is the game mode? It's kind of basically an auto battler where you get to place your troops against other troops, and obviously depending on where you place your formation, you're going to win or lose, and you're going to get some nice rewards every week, and at the end of the season, you're going to get some more, as well as anytime you go up a rank. So you can see I'm at silver 3, we're going to start slowly go up to gold 1 and keep pushing up, right? It's going to allow you to get more and more Vanguard rewards as well as better rewards as we go through, right? So if you want to check out the rewards, you can do all that yourself. But what you're wanting to know is how to play Tournament Champions. So you can see I've got 1 ticket remaining. Obviously, I've been recording some of these in the past and that. And what I wanted to talk about is honestly just attacking, right? And when it comes to attacking and the times to attack. Because honestly, right now, it's 1 p.m. my time. So if we kind of jump out of the game, you can see 12:08 UTC. This is honestly a bad time to attack in Tournament of Champions, because the thing is, this game mode is a time-sensitive game mode. So it's best to always attack the later and later in the day, because what you'll notice if you go to your rankings, I'm in the top 200 right now, but I'm going to find players, obviously, that are higher ranked than me, that are lower in power, right? And you're going to be able to snipe these players, like these 28 million power players, 27 million we got here, 25, 22. You see what I'm saying? Like, we've got a load of players we're going to be able to snipe because they've pushed their ranking too early, right? And the thing is, by pushing too early, you become prey. So the best thing to do in this game mode is to wait as long as possible, especially if you're trying to snipe rewards, because the rewards is time sensitive. So again, at the end of the season, if you're trying to get all the way to legendary, so you're in the top 20 to get this end of season rewards, you want to make sure the last couple of minutes, or 10-15 minutes of your attack, you're going to push up to the top compared to everyone else to secure victory, right? So it's really important to understand that if you are trying to maximize your rewards, right? When it comes to actually defense and attacking, it's going to be really situational because everyone's account is going to look different. At the moment, I am running this, right? This is a little L shape. The reason I'm running this is because I'm trying to counter as many calves as I can. I'm not saying this is the best way to counter calves. It's an all right way if they're running one main cav troop, especially if they're trying to go on these two flank lines. Basically, this allows my Madeline to go up and hopefully block the calves. And then, obviously, these guys do their jobs. If you do place your Madeline more up, yes, you will be more of a frontline blocker. However, again, you open these two little entrances up for cavalry to attack you. And a really good way of showcasing that is through the attacks, right? So if we go into the challenge mode, boom, bash, bash, bosh, we can see we've actually got a good cav guy here. This is, funny enough, 25 million player, hasn't got a good infantry line. I feel like I'm going to destroy him in the infantry line, but he's got some good mages, and he's got a Syndrome Frega, not awakened though, same with the cav, right? So if we go on to here, this is a really good example of what cavs are capable of. So you can see if we keep the show attack lines on, I would keep that always on. Otherwise, your game's going to look like this. It doesn't help anyone. Even though this doesn't work 100% of the time, it is best to honestly run this over anything, right? So what we're going to do is basically, you can see this cav, this Vix cav, is going to run down this line here, and it's going to actually hit, my mage. I don't want it to do that. Do not want to do that. So what you're going to want to do, as you can imagine, is just block it, right? So there's different ways you can do this. You can block it through your infantry, doing it this way. You could line everything up. And again, if you look, it's going to block here. But if we put our troops, it's going to try it and hopefully go on to our infantry. If we look at, sometimes if it's too fast, your infantry, it's going to go through and it'll actually still hit it kind of like this. So it's best to kind of always try to drive, this. You can see here, if we put it on this second spot, we're going to get the target, which is great. We're not going to get targeted by our enemy Bertrand, so it's maximizing again all of that, right? Even if we put any of these marchers here, you'll see it's going to try and target Vix. Hopefully the Kanara targets, you know, the Cav. I don't think it will, from personal experience, but if we keep everything else in a line, this is basically ensuring quite a lot of protection for our backline. And one big tip and trick I'm going to say before we dive into this gameplay here, this attack, is AoE, right? AoE is a little bit hard to run. People will admit that, because obviously your infantry going up, and it's going to cause basically your AoE to hit it, right? So single target DPS artifacts are honestly better, but if you are running an AoE artifact, Torque is honestly the best artifact to set them up. So if you're able to run against 2 infantries, right, you're going against 2 infantry front lines, which we will showcase in a moment, right, you're going to be able to use this Torque to actually get them both together, and then use your AoEs on top to actually maximize the amount of damage you deal. So it's a nice little tip and trick there with your Goresh Scourgles, if you do have it with the Torque, right? So we're going to run this just to showcase what's going to happen. Make sure we're not on skip so you can watch the gameplay. And here we go. We're going to obviously showcase some more. Our infantry going into their cabs, our infantry going into their infantry, and you can see how, because I lagged that, you know, archer just a little bit behind, right, I've been able to counter this cavalry player, right? So this is now going to be an easy victory, because my Goresh Scourgle, even though it's tanking a load of damage from these triple backlines while I've only got 2 on here, you'll notice I've actually got still 2 frontline units, and my DPS is melting that cav, so it's become absolute obsolete, allowing this infantry now to run in, and you're going to see it run in now. Boom, and now we've got some support, right? And everyone's now back onto their infantry in the center. It's going to allow us to obviously melt this down, and you can see once we've done this, this infantry is going to go into the Vix, while our Goresh Scourgle will go into the, you know, Vixes, Mage, and Archer. So nicely set up, doing as much AoE as we can, but because we've got that infantry still up there, they all have to target. It needs to finish, and it allows my backline now, healthy as hell, right, to go and melt them, right? So we're killing down 2 units at once. You can see my Kanara Nico shredding the Bert Toha, while the other 2 are shredding down the Syndrome Frege, and then finally we're going to shred down the Lilia and Valen. And who we might be lucky, but I don't, we won't be, but you know, maybe the infantry survives. You can run tankier infantry, so if you want to have some infantry, you know, lineups, you could run like a Madeline Garwood. Madeline and Eliana is surprisingly tanky in this game mode, so you can run stuff like that. Just remember, if you are trying to be super competitive, and I'm going to just do this for the showcase of this video, you are able to buy extra challenge attempts. This is free a day. It's 50 gems, 80 gems, and 100 gems, so it's a 230 gem increase basically to do that. And we're going to obviously spend some gems just to showcase some gameplay for you guys. But what we're going to do, again, when it comes to defense, what is the best way? What is the best way? It's really hard when it comes to it. So one thing you could do is something like this. Again, this is what I just went against for that guy. But it does open up a load of potential cabs coming down the center. So it's hard, and you can imagine no matter what formation you run, if there's a good cavalry player, and the reason I mention cavalry, they're the problem child when it comes to your attacks or defenses, right? So if we come down, we're going to look, and we've got some defeats, because obviously I failed some attacks because we messed up some bits. Same with some defeats on the defenses, and we're going to go up too and see if we've got some guys with cavalry involved. Otherwise, at the moment, you can see all these are just stronger base lineups. So I'm not mad at that, right? Stronger base lineups. Again, we've got stronger base lineups, maxed out heroes. It is what it is. You can't beat them all, right? Same with this one, maxed out heroes. I tried my luck, right? I tried my luck. I'm trying to find just one good defense where we can see some cavalry involved. If not, we're going to go into another attack and find one ourselves just to finish off the video. It doesn't look like it, so we're just going to go and challenge, hit the confirm, boom, got it up, and we're going to have a look. So if you're wondering how to prioritize attacking as well, I know some players have said certain suggestions when it comes to attacking. I'm going to be honest, some of them are just wrong. If you've played Rise of Kingdoms, you know what I'm talking about. If you want to climb ranks, I mean this, if you really want to climb the highest amount of ranks in the quickest amount of time, you always attack the guy on the right. The reason why it's the highest rank is going to actually give you the most plus points compared to the guy on the left. The guy on the left is around your rank, if not weaker. So you can see mine's 178 versus 197. I'll only gain a little bit of points if I beat this guy because the game's expecting me to do that. But if I challenge the guy in the middle, I'm going to gain the same average points, right? If you're in a very, very competitive, server where everyone's equal strength, it's going to be a little bit different. However, for the most part, for players that are trying to actually, generate the highest amount of points, you can just refresh this and look for some better matchups, right? 163 there to my 178, and this guy's got 28.9 million. He's running double infantry with some archers and a mage, very similar to what I'm doing. Same with this guy on the left and this guy on the right. However, he's already got double awakening on that Madeline and the Danfell, so I'm going to ignore that. And we're going to go for the middle one, right? And it just kind of showcases the decision making. We've got our infantry here, which is really good. And what we're going to do is basically have it so our infantry does come up a little bit of a delay, But by doing so, what we're going to do is switch up the Heart of Cavalry here to showcase AoE, how to maximize your AoE, right? Because if we replace this, I am going to get, in theory, more damage. I'm going to get more damage on the field because of that AoE of the Shadow Blades, right? It's got more damage than the Heart of Cavalry, but I need to make sure it lines up on both these infantry heroes. Another top tip trick before we hit the go, you'll notice my marchers, they're all weird differently sized. The reason is, in this season, Tournament of Champions, your unit cap is tied to your policies, guys. So if we go into this, you'll notice now I can actually increase these to 300k, and that's because I've got the correct policies to do so. Same with this, 314k. Go over here, we've already got the 300k, great. We need to put in our Nico and Kanara. I prefer this march, if I'm honest with you, than the Syndra and Freyga because of the counter-attack damage and the defense break. I think it's really important when you put that together in this game mode. So we've got all that set up, and then to finish it off, again, look, 300k. So just make sure when you attack, you have all of your marches maxed out. And now let's go. Boom. We're at 31 million power ourselves. Let's see how strong we are. Charging in, we've got our infantry coming in, targeting. This comes and attacks first, meaning I'm going to get the taunt off. There we go. All of them are going together, meaning now if we watch all of this AoE, it's going to hit both of these units, which is really important to hit both of the front line, because you got to remember, otherwise you're losing out so much damage if you choose to use an AoE based damage, artifact, because they are on autocast, right? So realistically, if you don't want to use them and you want to use single target artifacts like the Infernal Flame, Gold Crest, even Heart of Cavalry to increase your single target damage, really good options. But you can see I've melted through his first tank. He's not melted through my tank yet. So now I've got all damage applied onto his tank. Can my 5 units melt through basically his front line before his remaining goes through mine? That's basically the question here. So here we go. This is where it gets a little bit tight. Am I gonna lose? Hopefully not, because I've got stronger heroes. And there we go, right? Absolutely melted through that guy. Now coming into their backline, and this is when you normally know you've won if you've got your infantry with a decent amount of health, just tank a few turns and allow your backline to go crazy. And you'll notice now I'm going to go absolutely crazy, killing these guys down. 30,000 damage. I don't know if you saw that from one hit there, which was crazy. 33,000 nuts, 3v1, and we ended just like that. So honestly, I really wanted to showcase this gameplay. Why? Because it made sure you guys kind of understand the power of the talk, getting everything together. Even if they're maybe a lane apart, this still works because the talk range is so big. Pull them all into the center for your Goresh. All your Archer AoE artifacts will then layer on top, and you're going to maximize the amount of damage you deal, right? So we're going to do one more challenge attack for this, and if you guys want me to, what we'll do is we'll look at some of, do you know what, we'll do it in this video because I think it's actually a really fun thing. We're going to look at the rankings and what players are running, and you're going to see kind of a common theme for quite a lot of them, right? So here we go, DBB 154. This is his current lineup, and then obviously a shout out to Reva in PTW. Big kind of, you know, lesson here, guys. Don't attack your own alliance members. Don't attack anyone in your alliance, your server. If I'm honest with you, you're trying to beat the other server. That's the whole point of Tournament and Champions. So I'm going to re-roll. I'm going to see what we've got on the whole agenda. This looks very, very exploitable. This one, I'm going to be honest, this looks very exploitable. Do you know what we might do? We're going to use Cavalry ourselves in this gameplay. Yes, you heard right. So what we're going to do is we've got our Goresh. We're going to put everything kind of like this. So we've got the maximum damage. And now we're going to get rid of this march. And we're going to replace it with, you heard it, some Cavalry. We're going to swap this out. Maybe we will do something a bit spicier, like maybe an Indis. And you're wondering why I'm doing Indis. It means they're going to do increased damage taken. Plus, it will give me a bit more troop count, which is going to be interesting to see, right? And you'll see now by doing this, hopefully, I should hit Cloud Eyes, Bert, Toha. And this is by setting up on this exact kind of setup that I've had. I'm going to hit start. So we'll soon find out. We'll soon find out. And it's going to be educational purposes for me and for you live. We can see, look, all the infantry coming down. Here's the cav coming down on the back. It's going to reach the back end perfectly. And then boom. Berserker charge in straight onto the back line. And it's basically getting free damage off. Look at that. Free damage off onto their backline, and I'm just basically melting it. 20k, 18k on that artifact. Obviously, Spring Blades would be really powerful here. Obviously, my infantry has to fight versus 2 infantry, and this is where, obviously, if you've got stronger cavalry, this is how you abuse certain players' formations. Even if you've got a stronger infantry lineup, my lineup isn't the strongest. I will be honest. I have a Goresh at 5551. My score goal is 5511. But look how much work they are doing. It's doing a lot of work. Let's be real. It's doing a lot of work. But my calves almost blitzed through here. I bet you if we did a Bakshi Emrys, 100% this would be dead first, which would be really good. But look at that. We're going straight in. Berserker charge again. Boom, 16,000 damage. Bro, this is doing so much work in the backline. And it's just Bakshi doing the damage, right? Bakshi doing the damage and getting that increase. And look at this. My triple backline almost finishing off the Goward here. It's a 3v3 now, but look at the health advantage in my favor. That just showcases cavalry, guys. How to attack with cavalry if you've got a decent cavalry march. Mine isn't the greatest, and you saw how effective it was even there. So if you're wanting to learn from Tournament of Champions, let me know, because obviously I'm happy to do more videos of this. I might do some collaborations, get some guys involved and get, you know, loads of different perspectives on some good defensive formations, some good offensive formations, right? And make this into maybe a Tournament of Champions series, maybe like a 3-video special or something for you guys. But to finish off the video, to make it a nice one and round it up to about 20 minutes, just make it nice, we're going to just look at some of the top marchers, right? So you'll notice when we look in any of these top marchers, it's a load of single target damage if you're archer mains, especially with the counterattack damage, right? And if we keep looking down, it's always the same story. It's as much counterattack damage AoE as you're able to do. Obviously, right now we've got the Magzay. This one's running triple infantry, and that's rank 3. I would love to see this in action. If you're watching this DBB, you know, bro, I need to see this in action. This looks crazy, right? We've got Godsake, our Lord and Savior, running double infantry, Mogro and Danfell, Goresh, Schoolgirl, and with double mage and 1 archer in the back. And this kind of showcases, look, really good variety, right? We've got infantry, archer, mage. Here we've got infantry, archer, mage, right? And then this one's got infantry, mage, and archer. So even if you're going for an overall team, you can have that 2 mage setup, that 2 archer setup, 2 infantry setup, or 1 infantry setup with a cav potentially. You can see it already in these guys making when it comes into it. And we can keep going down here. I wonder if you see any mains from the cavalry. That's what I'm wondering. I wonder what cavs we've got. Because we've got another overall team here, right? We've got an infantry, mage, and then our archers, right? So it is really, really interesting to see that. I want to see, here we go. Top rank 12, Kong. Triple cavalry. One archer, one infantry. So look, this is what's scary about it. And I might shout out to Kong and ask if he can send us some gameplay or maybe share, screen so we can look at some cav attacking at the top level in our Tournament of Champions. And again, maybe we recommend some setups, recommend some formations for you guys in another full video. But I hope you've enjoyed it. This has been a nice blast. We've talked quite a lot about Tournament of Champions, tips and tricks. Hopefully taught you guys some bits and bats as we've gone through the game mode itself for this video. And if you've enjoyed it, smash a like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys. Peace out.